There we go.
Mic's on.
You good? All right. Can everybody hear me? Hopefully. This is testing for the first time on YouTube. I know last time the Bytevid didn't go very good. Anyways, good evening, everybody. My name's Keith Wilson. I'm with Fierce Technologies, the founder and CEO, and also the Bytevid platforms. I can never say that word. I'm very tired. I apologize. It's been a pretty rough day today. Anyways, there's a few things I want to talk to you guys about on the agenda. What do I got? Nine people on here. It's good to see you guys. I appreciate you all being on the Bytevid platforms. That's good. Craig, you hear me? That's awesome. So I want to kind of talk about why the Bytevid platforms was created and what our purpose is and how everything's set up. So I'm going to go and also tell you guys why certain things are the way they are. I don't know if most of the people that's on this live has been on Bytevid Social very long. I'm not really too sure, so I'm going to talk as if some of you are just coming on the platform for the first time. Bytevid Social wasn't supposed to be released actually until next month, but I decided to release it early, the website anyways. I knew the developers still had work to do on the mobile applications. They actually weren't scheduled to be out in the market until I believe it was April, the end of April, May timeframe. So they're kind of actually, the iOS app now of course isn't there quite yet, but they're getting there. But definitely the Android app is pretty good. We got a few bugs still. We kind of rushed that productivity on there, and that's not something I usually do. I try not to rush my teams. I try to get them to live life. They are human, and they've got families like everyone else and things like that. They do have lives, even though most of them are in other countries. I will talk to you about some of the platforms that we have coming out and why they exist. So let's go with why they exist first of all. Of course, I'm pretty certain, unless you just been really busy with other things, which I know people are, and that's understandable. You have every right to be. Unfortunately, as we gone into away from the PCs, the computers, and went into the phones, information technologies just got bigger. So everything went to the cloud, moved kind of more into that area as the users kind of got more smaller in our handheld devices. That kind of made the whole the market, the industry, kind of be owned by two to really three major players. That's Microsoft, Apple, and Google. Those are the ones that's basically taken over the market. And my company was in contracts, so I really wasn't too affected by it. But I kind of seen the things that were happening, and I kind of decided to, I've been in contracts for since 2004. Whenever I was with Star, I created Star. It was started out in the museum industry, in case some of you don't know that whole story there. But I'm not going to go really into everything about that. But we were in contracts. I went from Star, and then I sold that in 2014, and then I went to Envy, and then from there we were in medical contracts. And then I started to really see a big shift in the market, and I really been seeing that for a while. And I started seeing how all this information we were in, we started in artificial intelligence. Well, kind of, it's kind of up in the air. I mean, I started in artificial intelligence, but it really wasn't called AI. It was just a self-healing architecture I developed in 2006. Moved from there, went into the really what we know of, which was called Envy Framework at the time, is now called Intelligent Mind, was our AI system. I started in developing more into data mining and data sciences, things like that in 2017, which I created at that time it was called Envy Framework, because that was the company that I owned at that time. And then I left the medical industry. I started really looking into the SaaS and the AI things, and that's whenever I really seen the problems that were arising from how these large tech companies, in an industry that I've loved and been in since I was a kid. Really, I just didn't have a company until really 2004 was actually my second company, but my first one failed, so that really wasn't really all that good. But anyways, just to kind of tell you where we are and why we're doing this, or why I'm doing this, and why I'm putting so much of my own investment into it. And I do have other investors that are working with us to bring you these platforms. So let's first get into the why they exist and why I'm doing this. First of all, I have a deep love for not only the information technologies and this industry, but I also have love for people. I was always brought up in a Christian family. My dad and mom lived out in a rural area and in Illinois. Have different ideas, right, of how life should be and who should control it and things like that. So that got us into where we are right now, and it's not in a good place. So as I was developing artificial intelligence, I noticed that other companies with billions of dollars, way more money than I had, were developing the same technologies and things. And the more I got into artificial intelligence and how the machines think and how they learn and things like that, which I think is awesome, but it's also scary. And I'm not here to fearmonger. I'm not here to try to tell you things that aren't true. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I go by data. I'm a data guy. I love data science. I love information, collecting of it, storing it, analyzing, propagating, things like that, to actually get down to what we call truth. And we do it in a binary system. We have truth tables. We have, I don't know if any of you are familiar with logic or anything like that, but we have premises, and those premises come out, they're arguments, and they come out with a conclusion, and that conclusion is the truth, or the best, closest thing that we know of as truth. So as the AI are rising, it's here, and it's some really, really powerful stuff. And we just like anything, we need to be responsible and careful with it, because again, I'm not trying to fearmonger or anything like that. I'm only here to tell you the truth, the things that I know and the things that I'm in and doing. I am very concerned with the plans that are being created knowingly by some, I feel, not so moral people. And most of these people are driven by greed. They're driven by power, control, and I see it so much, and it's rapidly changing, and we have to do something. And I just feel like I want to be on the right side of this. I don't want to, I don't like what I'm seeing at all from my perspective, and being in the machine and being in this technology. It's not good, and it's not going to get any better, it looks like, unless we do something about it. And one of those things that I feel we need to do is we need to educate ourselves. We need to be more we need to be able to take these new technologies, which aren't bad. I mean, they're really not. I mean, I feel that if they're used in the right way, they're used by the right people. I really do feel, honestly, that we can utilize them to do what we have always done as humans, and that is, evolve. And I think this evolvement is great, but unfortunately, there are other parties that's involved that don't really see it quite the way I do. And they have a lot of ground on me. They have a lot of ground on us. So I created Fierce in 2020. Actually, Fierce was a gaming company back in 2012. I just never did get it off the ground. We didn't go really too much into gaming. We were in the museum industry. That's how we started Star, and then went from there. We were in GSAs. We were in government contracts. In the government contracts we got with Booz Allen Hamilton, we were actually working on a lot of things for the military complex. I was in the military at the time in the Navy. I retired in 2013, and then from there, Star was based out of here. We got to a $30 million company in 5 years, and that wasn't completely under my control. It was split in two separate places. But anyways, let's get back to the platform, because I don't want to take too much of your time. We're already at 12 minutes. So my idea is to create an ecosystem, and this ecosystem is divided up into two major parts, and that is the profitable side and then the non-profit. I have to have the profit side because I do have investors. I do have people that I still am working with and things like that. I have other clients. I still have 2 large contracts that I'm still working on. Finish them up in 25 is the end of that contract, and I'm not renewing. So what I'm bringing over into the SaaS, and all our social platforms will be ran by FGF, which the CEO of FGF is Craig Sight. So I'm going to remain with Fierce, and we're going to, my developers, which were 104 strong, will be working on these platforms, and they consist of Bytevid Social, which I'm sure you guys are on. That's how hopefully most of you had heard about this. And then we have Bytevid, which is our video sharing platform. Right now, it's not really launched. It's there, but it's not completely ready yet. We still have our mobile applications. They are developed. They are completed. They're just not put up on the platforms, which is something that we have to also discuss as a community, and how I want to try to get this community designed and developed. So let's first talk about the nonprofit side. Okay, so FGF, which is Fierce Global Foundation, is right now waiting on its EIN. We've been approved for 501c3. And we're just waiting on our EIN from the feds, and as soon as they get that, then we'll be up and going. We applied for the 501 as a STEM. We're going to be opening up Fierce EDU. That's the name of the online classes, or the online university. So I'm actually I'm been in universities. I sit on the curriculum board of ECPI, and also I'm with ODU, and we're also partnered with MIT. So been talking to a lot of educators and things, so I want to focus on STEM, because that is, and if those that don't know, that's STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and so we're going to give those classes for free, and it's going to be global. So that's what we're wanting to do as far as that side. But also there's a secondary part of the FGF, and that is we're going to be doing the social platforms. And the reason why the social platforms is important to us is because we want to get people where they're more safe. We use a technology that we don't own yet. We're right now in acquisitions with a company that just didn't make it, but they've got a great technology that is very secure. It's called Pin Drop. It uses blockchain technology for its encryption algorithms, which are really great. They really encrypt everything. It's very, very fast, which is something that was slowing us down in the past, was because even though we had a lot of computing power to actually encrypt data where it's secure the way we need it to be, 256 encryption was the way that's the highest we were able to go at that time. Now we're able to go even higher encryption algorithms that go beyond salt and hash or any kind of algorithms like that. So that technology needed to be stronger and more advanced, and we just didn't have the speeds, even though we had the computing power there, but we just didn't have the speeds of getting that calculated and getting it really, it's kind of like decompression and compression, if that's kind of trying to go in a layman's term. I know not all of you, and I try my hardest not to talk so technical, because I'm no smarter than anybody. I'm just in a different industry, and we have our own jargon, kind of like lawyers do or whatnot. But I try to when I'm talking to other people that's not in the industry, I try my hardest, and it's sometimes really hard. So I apologize right from there. I've just been in code pretty much most of my life. But so with these platforms, we have Bytevid, which is the video. We have Bytevid Music, which is going to be our music sharing. That should be out sometime, hopefully fourth quarter. I don't want to give hard dates because nothing seemed to be going, and that's pretty much the industry. It's very hard to make things right on time, even though we do what we call an agile methodology, is what we utilize that in Scrum. But even though we have these project plans and we have these specific, we call them sprints, but I guess they're like little groups. They're split up of the project. These like platforms that you're using that we have are very large. They take a lot of code. They take a lot of people, a lot of different technologies, things like that, that's constantly being updated, being advanced. And we have to have a very strict way of managing those platforms and those development cycles that we have to go through, and the versioning control and everything like that, so not everything gets messed up. So we have to take those teams and get those people together. So there's a lot of things that go into these platforms and make sure that they're secure. And that's our biggest thing, is security, because what's happened in the industry that I feel that is really wrong is that they have taken advantage of people who they're running a race that they're winning against people that aren't even running. It's kind of like this. Let me use an analogy here. So you have a house and you have a lot of stuff in your house, but a thief, even though you lock up your doors and you lock up your windows and everything, a thief still comes in and steals all your stuff. Whose fault is it? Is it the thief's or is it yours? Well, most people would say the thief's, right? And I agree with that. Now, let's take the same scenario, but this time you don't lock up your house. You keep your house unlocked and you keep your windows open. And the thief comes in and does the same thing and takes all your stuff. Whose fault is it then? Well, some people would start, it's kind of like on a little gray. Some people would say, well, it's kind of like your own fault. Well, I don't believe in that. I believe it's still the thief's fault. I believe that the person who left their windows open and have their doors open has every right to do that. And it's the thief is still a thief. They're still bad, okay? So now let's say that thief, the same thief, gives you a document and he calls it Privacy Act statement or a terms of service. And in that privacy, he tells you that he's coming and he's going to steal all your stuff. But it's in jargon that you're not used to reading. I mean, it's written by a lawyer and it's very complex and it uses a lot of words that you don't normally use in your profession, which doesn't make them very smart or anything than you, but it's just something that you're just not used to seeing. Whose fault is it then if that thief comes in after you have signed that document saying that it's okay? It's still the thief's, to me. It's still the thief's is a thief. It doesn't matter. Look, our job as a technology company is just that. We have a technology company, and some of you out there have your professions. Some of you are plumbers, some of you are air traffic controllers. I've got friends that are on the platform that are air traffic controllers. Some of you just are homemakers. You're living your lives basically the way that you want to live them and what makes you happy, and you have every right to that life as everyone else. And it should be our responsibility as technology companies to you as the user. We have a responsibility, and I just feel that there are companies out there, and I'm not going to mention who they are, but I just feel that they're doing it very wrong. They are the thieves. They have stolen your data. They have utilized it so they can get very large, and the only ones that's getting paid is themselves and their investors, and it's totally wrong. They are thieves, period, and you were the victim. And that is just the way it is. And unfortunately, because we try and we all think that, it's not going to happen to us, or this isn't going on, or things like that. But then we find ourselves working 60 to 80 hours a week. We get no time for family, barely time to go to church on Sunday morning. The things that I feel really made communities and us as human beings be more just human. I mean, it's called humane. It's called caring for one another. We've got away from it. We've gotten so scared of other people. They've always made some boogeyman. They've made some fear tactic, fear mongering to conquer, to divide and conquer, and it is working, and it's horrible. It is so horrible watching this from a perspective of a data science and information, and seeing the things that's happening, and the media and the control of the narrative. It's got to stop, guys. If it doesn't, we are in trouble as a collective. We're going into places that we can't never get out of. Once it's done, it's done. There's nothing you're going to be able to do. There was a saying that goes that it's I don't know exactly how it goes, and I'm probably going to totally mess this up, but it goes something like this, where this old man was talking to this younger man, and the older man was like talking about how life was, and he said his grandpa came in on a camel, and then his son then drove like a car, and then it went from there to a Lamborghini, and then back to the camel again. It's like we have this cycle. It's like we don't learn from the very past just because it didn't have anything to do with our lives. But that is so untrue. And so that's the problem that we're trying to find the solution to. And my idea is to build a platform, use technology, use the same type of technology they use to steal our information and separate us, to bring us together. And that's what Bytevid Social and the Bytevid platforms and FGF was created for. We don't want to be driven by profits. We don't want to be driven by greed. We want to get these platforms, these social platforms, and I will name all of them, Craig, I promise. We want to get these platforms working for the people. They're great technologies. They're great things. I mean, social media is a power. Social media is extremely strong power. It actually can hold these thieves accountable. I mean, it happens a lot, and one of the things is TikTok. And I know a lot of people are against TikTok. Well, understand that because it's owned by China, I get it. I do, and there are some things that I'm scared of too, because I know that they're in the phone. I know that they're listening to you. I know that they're doing those things. I'm in there, and so that's why we are actually creating Bytevid Blocks, which is a similar platform. It's going to be a video sharing. I think it's a great idea. It wasn't my idea, of course. TikTok was great at that. However, we need to be able to have these platforms ran by an organization that is not out for the greed and the money. And that's why we have created FGF and put all the social platforms under there. Those social platforms is as follows. You have Bytevid Social, which we talked about, which is a lot like Facebook. Yes, we're going to say what they're like. Whisper is a lot like Twitter. So instead of tweeting, you're going to whisper. Bytevid Blocks is a lot like TikTok. It's video sharing. We've got it out of development right now. That's what I'm actually working with the Blocks team to try to get those up. And I will tell you what problems that we've had and what we ran into. And I will open this up to any questions that you have in a few moments. So just if you could bear with me and let me finish this one up. So we have Bytevid, which we talked about. That's our video sharing. That's like YouTube. Okay. We also have, what am I missing? Pixel. Pixel is like Instagram. That's going to be coming up later this summer. It's actually done. The developers are waiting for me to actually go through the testing. I personally want to test all these because of the security and the, I developed Intelligent Mind, which is our AI. That's the normal thing. It's actually a, what's the name? What I'm missing? I'm drawing a blank. Miriam, help me out. It's a your brain has them. I can't even think about it. Somebody in the crowd can tell me. You know, you fire off in your brain neurons. Yeah, it's a neural network. I don't know why I can't compute right now. So anyways, it's a neural network. It has a lot of, it has really 3 major algorithms in there. We've got the spin, which is the major one. Mm-hmm. Then we have Oxy, which is, we have to do bots that we control to collect information and things. And then we have the Gemini, which is our self-healing architecture. So in the spin is our deep learning algorithms are in there, and these are all modular, so they're separated out so we can actually bring that stuff in. It's beautiful. Of course, I could be biased because I engineered it. So I'm the only one that really does anything really with Intelligent Mind. I mean, we'll contract out sometimes or send it out to the developers to develop certain things, but nobody touches Intelligent Mind but me for right now, and I know that's scary, and I'm gonna have to change that. I just haven't found anybody in the development that I can truly trust with everything going on, because there's just too many people are driven by money and greed, and I just can't have that close to something this powerful and this great. You'll actually see Intelligent Mind. He is actually in Bytevid Social. He's the one that protects you. He keeps you from cursing. So if you try to curse, except I know if Rodney's around, he was the one that showed us that we have a little, for whatever reason, Intelligent Mind doesn't want you to say that 3-letter word.
Pass.
Yeah, you wasn't supposed to say it. But anyways, so the other ones, am I missing any platforms?
No.
There were 7 of them. I didn't say all 7, did I?
No.
Bytevid Social, Bytevid Music, Bytevid Blocks, Bytevid Whisper, Bytevid Pixel. I'm missing one. Oh, Clubs. Bytevid Clubs. Clubs is basically mainly developed with the schools in mind, so classes can separate into their little groups and be able to learn better. So our biggest thing on the FGF side is education. And again, that's going to be managed by Craig Sipe and April Sipe. Those two are going to be running FGF. I'm going to remain Fierce, and well, we're all Fierce, but I'm saying I'm going to remain with Fierce Technologies, the technology side. We have also what I wanted to discuss. We have what we call a Fierce token. Okay, what it was supposed to do was actually be on the blockchain, but what happened with the whole currency is that they really started that's under attack right now, big time. They're wanting to replace it with the central banking system that we have, and I'm not going to go into the monetary system right now on this live. We can talk about it later or whatever, but if you don't know how our monetary system works and how it runs off debt, and it's a fiat currency, and we've been off the gold standard since 1971. Actually, I argue that. I believe it's been all the way since 1933 under FDR, but that's here nor there. So basically, they want it's called the CBDC. It's the central bank digital currency. They actually want to create their own and basically do the same thing to us and enslave us. And did I say that word? Oops, sorry. We won't go there. So those are the platforms. They all have mobile applications for both Android and iOS. They're being developed. So we are putting a lot of my own personal money into this. The investors are backing us up. Doug Jarvis, you're awesome. Love you. I'm sure you're not in here because you got other things to do. But Doug Jarvis, if you guys see him with Fabricut, please pay him a visit. He's the most awesome dude that I've known, and that I know, and he's awesome. Love him to death. He really backs this whole thing up, and he's just an awesome guy. We've got a lot of awesome people behind it. Like I said, we're 104 strong. I got 16 new people coming in. Just to let you know, Whisper developers are from Ukraine. Right now I have them on training. They're in Italy. They'll be there till next Thursday. Yes. Thursday. Yes. And I'm actually thinking about extending that a little bit longer, even though it's going to cost me more money, but whatever. It's just money. Other than that, man, we'll go into, oh yeah, one other thing about the token. It's still worth something, definitely. Just keep that. You want to collect those. You actually, in all the platforms, you're going to be paid just by being on the platform. Okay, that's how it's set up. That's how we're engineering it. So you'll actually generate revenue there. It's going to be in the Fierce token. We do have our own, and that's where the problem has lied with this whole currency. And there's a guy, is Wesley in here?
Yes.
Wesley, talk to Wesley. He is the awesome dude that knows a lot about NFT and the digital currency market. Talk to him if you have any questions. He's an outstanding dude, a smart guy right there. So that's who you want to talk to when dealing with that. Wesley, love you to death, man. Keep up the great work. I love your passion. Let's drive that, and great on the education on that. But that is going to be worth something. We do have our own exchange coming out. The name of that we don't know exactly yet, so that's a little bit further down the road. We are in development on it, so it is pretty much developed. We also have Fierce Traders, which is already done, and it's another investment group that's part of that, but it's still going to be part of the ecosystem. And when I talk about this ecosystem, let's talk about that a minute. I told you there's two sides, the non-profit and then the profit side. We have to have the profit. We're at 835, so is that right? Yes. I can't see that. 835, yes. So I got to shut up here in a minute. Anyways, the profit side has to be there, of course. We have to generate revenue because, my money's not going to last forever. I can hold it pretty good. But a lot is going out. We've got a burn rate that's pretty high right now, but that's because of all the development cycles that are going on. But that should kind of even out a little bit once we start doing that. Not really too sure. A lot of my developers are contract based, so they can go to other jobs. So I'll make sure that I have job placement and everything for them. But for the most part, I mean, I'll still have to keep some of them for sure for maintenance and keep upgrading and stuff. But it won't be as much of a burn rate it is now because we're going through still the development process. But on the profit side, we actually have really 3 other companies. One of them is Envy, which the CEO's right back here doing all the stuff. That's Miriam. She's going to be running Envy. Envy Shops will be coming out. It's actually up there. If you go on Bytevid Social, we'll send you a link if you haven't been there yet. We have the demo up. We're looking for vendors. If anybody wants to come on. Right now, we're trying to get it as low as we can. Right now, we're at 4%. That's as low as we can go. And that goes to our biller or our payment company. That doesn't even go to us. So there's no profit at all. Our profits that are going to be out of there, or our business model, is going to be strictly advertisements in this system. So we'll get to that, Marcus. I promise you. Anyways, so that's Envy Shops. Envy Marketplace is coming right after that. That's still in development. Actually, they're pretty much done. Last week, I got the news that they're ready for testing. So I'm getting like really backed up because I have to test everything, just because that's just who it is. So, so we have. Anything else with Envy? Later on, we've got Envy Ship coming out, but that's not until next year, so we won't really talk about that too much. That's going to be our shipping, so we can get our vendors a better shipping. But we have another company called Accele. That's ACCELE, and that's going to be ran by Marcus Wilcox. He's the CEO out there for that company. That is going to be doing, right now we have our own SMTP servers. We're still in warm-up for that. There's a lot of stuff that I won't go into in detail about SMTP. I did release a blog that explains a little bit on Bytevid Social. You guys can read that. And if you have any questions, you guys can always find me, and I'll answer them the best way I can. But he'll be running Accele Mail. That's actually ready to go. I just have to get it up on the server and configure it. God, it's always like me. Why always me? Anyways, so then after that, he's got Accele Post coming right after that. What Accele Post is going to do is it's going to connect all our social sites, meaning that if you post in Bytevid Social and you want it to go out to Facebook, you want it to go out to the other platforms that you are a part of. We're not saying that you have to come completely off those. They do have a tendency to collude with other entities. We won't get into that too much, and they like to steal data. But hey, I'm not controlling you. I don't control you. You do what you want to do. You want to be part of that, by all means be part of that. I'm not trying to. We're still going to service that. We're even though they might not link to us, but we'll link to them. That's absolutely fine. So you guys can, post out and to the people that are still on those platforms that you care about. So that's what Accele Post is going to do, is it's going to be connected to all those. Right now we have connection to Facebook, help me out, Miriam, yep. YouTube, LinkedIn, Reddit. There's another one, VK, and then of course all the Bytevid platforms. Yeah. I don't know why I cannot say platforms very well. I have no idea. I'm like salivating on myself for some reason. So that's that. And the other company that I haven't talked about yet, which is it's planned to be our AI company. It's actually what Intelligent Mind's going to go to, and that's called Vosburn. And it's not up yet. Whisper is up, but I prefer not really. I mean, if you do create an account, that data, that those that are tested with Bytevid Whisper, it's going down. So and there's nothing I can do about it. We got to strip the data. We have some issues that I have to pull. So it's not a big deal, but that will come. That does have mobile application for both iOS. Well, all of them do. So that's Whisper. It's going down. I'm still working with blocks this week. Hopefully, we've got server issues. We're also going to have, we just finished it up, and I've got to get it on the server. God, I got so many things to do on the server. Anyways, it's called Bytevid Meet. That's our kind of like Zoom. It's going to be free to all Bytevid users. It's to streaming video, so you can conference. So if you have a business or something like that, you can utilize that. It's very secure. It's very fast, and that server is actually going to be what we're going to be able to plug in all our live streaming to, like Bytevid. We're talking about putting it in Bytevid Social Live, but I'm not really for sure. That's going to be probably last. But I do know that Blocks has to have live and streaming. But that's it. I think that's enough for me. I know there's a lot of other things, and Fierce, if you want to know more about what Fierce is and what we stand for, things like that, please, by all means, help there. I'd really love to get more than 7 people on the live, because my time is very valuable, and I'm not saying that you guys aren't worth it. I love each and every one of you, but 7 people, I can almost guarantee you, if I was someone like Mark Zuckerberg, who I know I said I wasn't going to say that, but we all know he's stole your data. I mean, come on, guys, we're not stupid. But anyways, I guarantee you he'd have millions of people on here. This is pretty sad. I'm spending a lot of money. I'm burning through a lot of my own personal money, so you guys can be secure. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. You guys definitely aren't. You guys showed up. But clearly there's a disconnect between what's really happening in the world and what people really know what's happening in the world. And that's the problem. That's the gap we have to close, because this is getting scary. And when I get scared, we have a problem, a big problem, especially when it comes to technology, because nothing in this industry has ever scared me. So questions, concerns, anything like that, I will be more than happy to answer them for you. And yeah, so anybody, any questions or anything like that? I'm always online as far as, I check in every now and then and stuff like that, but I think that's it. If you guys need any ads or anything like that, we do have our own. They're great. They've been making videos. They've been doing all that. They're working on the commercial. Get those pictures into Miriam. She'll take care of you there. And other than that, anything else am I missing? God, it's so hot. Why is it so hot in here?
I don't know.
It's crazy. It's crazy burnout. I asked the question. I got like 5 machines sitting here.
Yeah.
Windows open would be nice. But anyways, I do love you guys very, very much, and that's just the way it is. You don't have to love me back. I don't need all that necessarily. I wear long hair, I know, and a beard, and I look weird, and I talk. I can't say platform. The heck is going on? Anybody asking questions? I can't see. I'm not putting on my glasses because they glare.
Marcus asked a question earlier about the calendar year, or is it fiscal year? I said the calendar.
For?
When you were talking about the
oh, well, I mean, we have our fiscal year starts in January, but we don't do our taxes. We just finished that out, and I'm about to get the tax bill. I pretty much know what it is. It's not happy, but we'll deal with that. I ain't worried about that. You guys don't have to worry about all that stuff unless you're part of the company. Craig, you're not off the hook. You're going to have to worry about it. And Marcus, you're going to have to worry about it. And April, and of course, Miriam's right back here. So yeah, you guys are going to have to worry about it because I am not doing your books. I mean, I'll help you, but that's about it. So be happy. It's wonderful. I don't even do them really. I have people that do them, but it's still hectic. So anything else, guys? And also, please get people on there and yourself. Please, we got to get this community going. Join Bytevid Social. Talk to Craig or April. Those guys will be heading that up, hopefully. I'm trying to get more, not that I don't love you guys and love social and all that stuff. I've got to stay in the code, guys. I've got to stay where I do best. I do not, I just need to remain in the code. I need to remain with my machines. And I need to make sure that you guys are secure and your data is well protected. And I'm doing that at no cost. So all we need is people. We need more people. And the reason why we need more people is because, look, if I'm going to put all my money into this, I want it to do the most. You know, I want to get more bang for my buck, and that is protecting as many people as I can. Get more people out of the hands of these lions and these awful, horrible people that has ruined my industry. It's my industry just as much as it is theirs, and I want it back. And it's not supposed to be this way, guys. It's not. Yes, John.
John Drum has a question. Will your involvement with FGF be overseeing development/testing of Bytevid apps?
That is all my development teams. That's all we're going to be. We are backing off. We are right now. Currently, we are forming the board. I will be sitting on that board until I can step away, and then that's going to be handed off to Craig, April, and that team. They will be running that. We want to separate Fierce Technologies away from Fierce Global. We don't, the only, I mean, of course we have a stake in it. I mean, but it's not, it's a non-profit. I mean, it's we're contract. We're on a 5-year Fierce. The way that we're developing our, and that's a great question, John. We're developing our bylaws. Bylaws are things that run corporations. I don't know if I'm not trying to talk down to you guys. Please, I just don't know what you know, okay? But every corporation has these laws that we abide by. They're created by our founders usually. I am one of the founders. We create those bylaws and we abide by them. And we submit them to the State Corporation Commission, which Fierce, actually there's 2 corporations of Fierce. There's 3 corporations here right now. Excel, Envy, and Vosburn are all under Fierce Technologies right now. They're not separate. They are subsidiaries. But the corporations are Fierce, what we call Fierce North. They're Delaware company. And then we Fierce South, which is Virginia owned. And then Fierce Global Foundation. So those 3 companies, Fierce North, Fierce South, and the FGF has their own EIN. So they're all separate entities. The only ones that's not separate right now, which can be separate when they want to, and that is Excel and Envy and Vosburn. And Vosburn is CEO-less, so we need a CEO for Vosburn. But we do have one for Envy and we have one for Excel. And those 2 companies can separate off. I really, as far as what I would like to do is all this working together, of course, because our vendors from Envy can use email, mass email. That's what the Excel mail is. It's for mass email. So of course, all the companies and all our platforms go through Excel Mail. That's why some people on certain servers, which are POP3, the old one, but now they're called IMAPs. You're basically receiving email, right? Your internet mail protocol, and then the POP3 was the post office protocol, which is the old one. But anyways, those receivers, which is Gmail, things like that, we're okay with Gmail. That's going good. But we get some of these people that have things like, God, I've seen some weird ones that I haven't seen in a long time. Like, I don't know. Rodney, you had one. Where's Rodney at? Rodney Kelly. You had your email. I can't remember what one that was. I don't think it was Hotmail. I think it was something else. But anyways, some of those servers that we don't really deal with too much. This is not a bust on you guys. I understand totally. I mean, I get it. But when we're warming our SMTP servers, which takes a lot longer than I had planned or anticipated, but anyways, those go to we want the most common, which is Gmail, Outlook, things like that, right? But for some reason, I think Outlook's given us a problem now for some reason. I don't know why exactly. We warmed up to them, and then they started bouncing, and then they warmed up again. I don't get what they're doing over at Microsoft. But so those emails, if you have those, like a Gmail account or something, that's a lot better on our platforms for right now. Hopefully we'll warm up to them. But basically all it is anti-spam, which we are totally for. We're not against that. So I'm not mad at them for doing that, because spam has gotten horrible and it was ruining the whole email system. We don't want to do that. So emails, even though it's kind of like yesterday, but it's still very important. So, and plus with, we've got Excel Mail coming out. I mean, that's our profit side. So, oh yeah, Excel, I almost forgot. Excel has Excel Ads. Excel Ads is going to run every bit of ads in all our platforms, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to hook that up to where all our platforms, including our Bytevid social and stuff, guys, we have to make some type of cash flow. This cash flow that's pushed over to FGF is going to be shared with the community. That's coming back to you guys. So get in there. You can make money. We're actually setting up to where the advertisers is going to pay you. I mean that. That's the honest truth. That's how it was created, was meaning that when you see an ad, instead of me and another company taking that money, we give it to you, the viewer. So if you see a Hardee's commercial, you're going to get paid for it. Meaning, and it's not just going to be in Fierce. It may come in Fierce token, but understand that depending on our ICO, that's called an initial. Talk to, is he still on here?
Wesley, yes.
Is Wesley still on here? Wesley, talk to Wesley. He'll tell you all about it. It's ICO, which is the initial coin offering, and that's what we have to do is go through that, and they will. It's basically like an IPO. A stock gets the value when it comes out, So we don't know what that value will be. Yes, it will probably be pretty low at the first, but of course through investors, through speculation, things like that, it just drives the value up, guys. You guys will have the value. It's not backed by anything except love and kindness. What better way? That's like the greatest. So let's just look. Let's stop putting money in the pockets of people that don't care about us. Let's start helping each other out. These platforms are developed for that. You might not get wealthy off of them, or you might. I mean, if you have a business, we're running free advertisements you guys can run. We're having things like that. We'll help you make advertisements to find the size, things like that, to run out there. That is fine. But guys, we need to, yes, have cash flow, but man, for me as a founder and an owner, I have my enough. Most of it's sitting right back there. Okay, I don't need, just buy. I need firewood. That's about it, because I love sitting around the fire and chilling, which I think I got some pretty cool pictures there of that and food. What?
Russ McGill asked.
Oh, Russ McGill? Russ McGill, you're here! Oh my goodness! He's never on our platforms. He hates us.
Questions.
Web developer
One
now.
is from Russ McGill.
Okay.
ETA on the iOS app for Bytevid Social.
Yeah, I know, buddy. You would ask that one. Well, God, I almost forgot one of the worst things that really made my life miserable here. All right, so these platforms, they're not owned by us. As far as I'm talking about, like Android, where you actually go and download the Android app. Same way with iOS. For those that don't know it, Google owns the Android and Apple owns the iOS. Okay, I'm not an iOS developer. I've never developed an iOS in my life, guys. I'm sorry. No, I don't not like iOS or like you guys that own iOS. It has nothing to do with that. I just never really did get into it. I was always a PC guy. I made my money through PCs. So the time frame on that right now, it was done, and we went to go put it on there, but they came out with a new version of what we call Swift, which is part of that whole ecosystem thing. I don't know a whole lot about it, to be honest with you. Like I said, I'm not an iOS developer. I kind of leave those guys alone. They're lucky they don't have to deal with me. they're like, yeah, just leave them alone. But anyways, so the answer to that is about a month, hopefully. But the problem that we're having is we got to and this is why I want Craig and April and some other people, if you can, get together with these guys. We're running out of time. We're at, what time is it?
Well, we have another question.
Yeah, I'll get that in just a minute. But real quick to answer that, Android, Google's coming into our platform, which kind of goes against. I know Craig and I we got to figure this one out, because if we don't release on these platforms that everybody knows about, then then I'm going to always have 7 people in my life, guys. I mean, it's a little waste of money, right? I mean, I'm burning through like 60,000 a month right now.
Yeah.
So can we please get more people and more things involved? But I can't put a date on that, but like a month maybe, somewhere around there. What's the other question?
Other questions from Wesley.
Wes.
How does Bytevid connect to social media like Facebook? Could it connect to something like Discord?
We can. We looked into Discord. We just don't have the APIs and the I mean, they do have a web API, but they're very behind on it. It's not a whole lot. And also, we got to always be concerned with security. How we're going to get pin drop and securing that data, because since we don't have the other side, we have to make sure that when we talk and we connect to these other companies through what we call web application programming interfaces, that's how we connect to those other platforms. We have to make those secure and make sure that they are dealing with the data, your guys' data, the way that we would want them to. So we just haven't talked to them yet, but yes, possibly in the future, definitely. Anything else? Because I don't want to go over. I know you guys got plenty of other things to do than listen to me chat along. Anything else? Love the support, guys. Keep it up, and keep, even if it's something that you see that's bad, we've got thick skin. We need to know the problems, okay? If you guys got problems with these things. But the iOS app, probably about a month, I would say. It's still another month. You're probably not going to see it till the end of next month, unfortunately. It's got some major stuff that has to go in there, and I can't help them. I can help with Android all day long. I have nothing to do but listen to your beautiful... Very funny, Russ. Very funny. Love you too, man. Wish you were on the platform more. I see you on Facebook over there. No, I'm just kidding. I'm only joking. You guys do whatever you want. You guys got your life, man. I would really love to see more people involved. I love the people that we do. I have a really great conversation. I bother him like every night, and that's Rodney Kelly and Craig Sipe. I'm like bothering you guys all the time, but I'm sorry. I just really enjoy your conversations. So anybody else want to join in? I'm great to talk to. Wesley, we got to actually have that night. We got to step out and talk a little bit more about how we're going to deal with this, because I'm going to need some help. Guys, I don't know it all, man. I'm tech guy, and after that, I can't even find my socks, man. I have to have Marion help me with that. So, guys, I'm a human being, man. I'm alive. I wear my hair long and my beard. I love this, by the way. I'm sorry, I do. I don't comb it. I don't do nothing with it. I have a big bald spot. My forehead's growing. Come on, guys. There's people, man. Let's love each other. Let's care for each other. Let's build these platforms. They're not. I don't care, man, about the money. I really don't. I got enough. I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't need. I don't like stuff. If that's what you do, you want a big house, you want a boat, you want a plane, go be you. Do you. I'm talking about me. I don't care about that stuff, man. I had it already. I don't want it. I'm a lazy guy, man. I don't want to. I don't want to take care of a boat. Are you kidding me? Or a plane? God, that was horrible. But yeah, just do that. You know what I mean? Anything else we got before I let you guys go? I don't want to go. Oh, I'm already over. God, I can't see none. I'm so freaking blind, man. Anyways, I love you guys. I appreciate you showing up. You're 9 people now. You're awesome. I love you. See you on the platform. Guys, just enjoy it. Let us know what's going on. Get in the forums. Use those. Make sure you're looking at the groups, things like that. The developers love to hear that. They get all excited. They're just like, I don't want to call them kids because they're not kids, but it's fun to see them enjoying what you guys are saying and things like that. You know, give them some feedback, man. They're really working hard. A lot of them, man, they're not from the United States. A lot of them. I only have 16 developers from here right now, just because they charge way too much for the stuff. I mean, I pay them well, I do, but what do we do, Miriam? It's always in bonuses, things like that.
Yes.
We take care of them really good. We're fierce, man. Let's be fierce. Let's just do something. Let's just change the way this course is going, because I'm telling you, you don't want to go there, do they, Russ McGill? You're in the industry now. You know what I'm talking about. Come on, let's bring it back, man. I miss the way it used to be. All the companies, the businesses are gone, man. And I'm not saying that we have to go back in history. I'm not saying that at all. There's just a lot of things that we got away from, guys.
Russ says it's bad.
That we need to get back, man. We really do. Well, listen, we're going to go ahead and shift out of here. That's it, man. I don't want to take no more of your time, guys, because I want you coming back. I want you being part of this, man. I love each and every one of you. I really do. I'm here for you. We've got a great team. We got some great people. We're just building it. Let's change the world, man, because the way the world is changing, it's not what we want. I promise you. All right, let's wrap it up. I love you guys. Mwah.